Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome to our channel. I'm SM and I'm so incredibly excited to have you here with me today. We're about to embark on a unique culinary adventure combining the meticulous art of baking with the whimsical charm of claymation. Today, we're diving into the delightful world of gluten-free baking. I know gluten-free can sometimes mean dry or crumbly baked goods, but with the right techniques and ingredients, you can create gluten-free treats that are just as delicious as their traditional counterparts. We'll be tackling everything from fluffy bread to gooey cookies, all without a speck of gluten. We're going to demystify the process and hopefully inspire you to get into your own kitchens. And of course, you'll get to see our charming claymation characters whip up these treats step by step. It's going to be fun, informative, and incredibly delicious. Let's get started. First up on our gluten-free baking journey is a classic loaf of bread. This recipe is perfect for sandwiches, toasting, or even French toast. The goal is a loaf that's soft inside with a tender crumb and a chewy crust. Gluten-free bread baking can feel like a science experiment. Gluten gives bread its structure and elasticity, so we need to replicate those properties. This involves a blend of gluten-free flours and starches. For this loaf, we're using brown rice flour, tapioca starch, and potato starch. You'll see our claymation flour bags tipping their contents into a bowl. A binder like xanthan gum helps mimic gluten's elasticity. It traps gas bubbles produced by the yeast, allowing the bread to rise. We'll be using xanthan gum in this recipe. The mixing process for gluten-free bread is different. We aim for a smooth batter. Our claymation stand mixer will bring all the ingredients together. Once mixed, it's time for the first rise. We'll transfer our batter to a greased loaf pan and let it rest. After the first rise, it's baking time. The heat of the oven causes oven spring, giving the bread its final lift. Our claymation loaf will go into a miniature oven. Knowing when your gluten-free bread is perfectly baked can be tricky. An internal thermometer is your best friend here. We want to reach an internal temperature of around 200 to 210 degrees Fahrenheit. Our claymation baker will demonstrate this with a tiny thermometer. Once out of the oven, allow the bread to cool completely. This allows the internal structure to set properly. Finally, the reward slicing into that beautiful loaf, the sound of the knife cutting through the crust, revealing the soft crumb inside. You can use it for sandwiches or simply enjoy a slice with butter. We'll show our claymation characters enjoying a tiny sandwich. For storage, keep it in an airtight container at room temperature for a few days, or slice and freeze for longer-lasting freshness. Next up, we're tackling a universal favorite, chocolate chip cookies. These are gluten-free and absolutely incredible. We're aiming for a cookie that's chewy in the center, crispy around the edges, and packed with chocolate chips. One common complaint with gluten-free cookies is their texture. For these cookies, we're using a specific gluten-free all-purpose flour blend. It's important to choose a blend that contains xanthan gum. The foundation of any great chocolate chip cookie starts with creaming the butter and sugars. We'll use granulated sugar for crispy edges and brown sugar for moisture and chewiness. Our claymation butter will be beaten with the sugars until light and fluffy. Once creamed, add the eggs and vanilla extract. The eggs act as a binder and add richness. Our claymation eggs will crack neatly into the bowl. Now for the dry ingredients: gluten-free flour blend, salt and baking soda. Gradually add this dry mixture to the wet ingredients. Our claymation sifter will gently rain the flour mixture into the bowl. And of course, the star of the show, the chocolate chips. Fold them into the dough gently but thoroughly. Chilling the dough is crucial for the best texture. We'll wrap our claymation cookie dough and pop it into a miniature refrigerator. When it's time to bake, preheat the oven and line the baking sheets. Scoop portions of the chilled dough onto the prepared baking sheets. Our claymation ice cream scoop will create uniform mounds of dough. Baking these cookies is a joy for the senses. We're looking for the edges to be golden brown while the centers are soft. Once out of the oven, let the cookies cool on the baking sheet. Then the moment of truth, biting into a warm, chewy, chocolate-laden cookie. Our claymation characters will take a bite, their eyes widening with delight. Now let's move on to something more celebratory, a classic gluten-free vanilla cake. This cake is incredibly moist, tender, and has a delicate crumb. It's perfect for birthdays, anniversaries, or any celebration. Achieving that light, airy texture in a gluten-free cake can be a challenge. The key lies in the right combination of flours and starches. We'll be using a carefully balanced gluten-free cake flour blend. Leavening agents like baking powder and baking soda are crucial. The mixing method is also critical. We'll use the creaming method, beating butter and sugar until light and fluffy. Then add eggs one at a time, beating well after each addition. Combine the dry and wet ingredients gently to avoid overmixing. Prepare the cake pans by greasing and lining with parchment paper. Divide the batter evenly between the prepared pans. Bake until golden brown and a toothpick comes out clean. Let the cake layers cool in their pans for about 10 to 15 minutes. Then invert them onto a wire rack to cool completely. This vanilla cake is a perfect partner for any frosting. Once cooled, you can level the layers and decorate your masterpiece. For our next recipe, we're making gluten-free blueberry muffins. These muffins are bursting with juicy blueberries and topped with a crumbly streusel. They are perfect for breakfast, brunch, or a snack. To prevent berries from sinking, toss them in a bit of gluten-free flour. This helps the berries stay evenly distributed throughout the muffin. We'll use a good quality gluten-free all-purpose flour blend. Be careful not to overmix the batter to avoid tough muffins. For the streusel, combine gluten-free flour, sugar, cinnamon, and cold butter. Work the butter into the dry ingredients until it resembles coarse crumbs. Whisk together the dry ingredients in one bowl and the wet ingredients in another. Combine the wet and dry ingredients gently. Fold in the flour-dusted blueberries. Prepare the muffin tin with paper liners or by greasing and flouring the cups. Divide the batter evenly among the muffin cups. Generously sprinkle the streusel topping over each muffin. Bake until golden brown and a toothpick comes out clean. Let the muffins cool in the tin for a few minutes, then transfer them to a wire rack to cool completely. They are delicious warm or stored in an airtight container for a couple of days. These muffins are sure to become a new favorite. For our final recipe, we're tackling a pie crust. A flaky, buttery and versatile gluten-free pie crust is achievable. This crust can be used for sweet pies or savory quiches and tarts. The secret lies in the right flour blend, cold ingredients and gentle handling. We're aiming for a crust that's tender yet sturdy. The flour blend includes white rice flour, tapioca starch, potato starch and xanthan gum. Keep your fat and liquid extremely cold. Cold butter creates pockets that turn to steam, creating flakiness. Cut the butter into the flour until it resembles coarse meal. Add ice-cold water, a tablespoon at a time, until the dough holds its shape. Form the dough into a disc, wrap it, and chill in the refrigerator. Roll the dough between 2 sheets of parchment paper. Transfer the rolled dough to your pie dish carefully. Trim any excess dough and crimp the edges. For many pies, blind bake the crust. Line the unbaked crust with parchment paper and fill with pie weights. Bake until set and lightly golden. This versatile crust is now ready for your imagination. Use it for your favorite sweet or savory pies. Enjoy the flaky, buttery goodness of a perfect gluten-free pie crust. And there you have it, 5 incredible gluten-free recipes, all brought to life with a little bit of claymation magic. From that wonderfully soft sandwich bread and those irresistibly chewy chocolate chip cookies to the elegant vanilla cake, the bursting blueberry muffins and that perfectly flaky pie crust. I truly hope you've seen just how delicious and achievable gluten-free baking can be. It's all about understanding the ingredients and techniques and not being afraid to experiment a little. Thanks so much for watching and for joining me on this gluten-free baking journey today. I had an absolute blast sharing these recipes and our little claymation world with you. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below and of course subscribe to the channel for more delicious recipes and creative culinary adventures. Your support means the world to us and helps us create more content like this. We'd absolutely love to hear from you in the comments. Let us know which of these gluten-free recipes you're most excited to try first. Or perhaps you have a favorite gluten-free baking tip you'd like to share with the community. Until next time, happy baking, stay curious in the kitchen, and we look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye for now.